Okay, that's quite important.
Passive income.
Passive income, all very good. Who have you thought, or who of you are financially totally free? Don't raise your hands. How do you get to be financially totally independent? What do you have to do? In normal business, you've got to build a team of people or businesses where you can step out of or sell it off. I had this brainwave on one of the early flights. But if you build a business, if you have 30 Spurs, you might be able to retire because you make 5-6 million rand a month. But what do you need to be able to retire? You need trustworthy, good people, well-trained, running your business for you. That's the one thing you can do. If you're owner of a bond originating company and you've got experts doing the job for you, you can step out. If you start from scratch today and you build up a lot of franchises and you sell it off for 100 million, you can retire. If you haven't thought about that process, then you need to start thinking about it, because none of us want to work till we're 50 or 60 or 70. Okay, you need to build up a team of people, experts, businesses, and sell it or get passive income from it. This is our vehicle. The better equipped your marketers are and the more of them you have, the higher skilled they are, the less you have to do. So this is the most important thing in our business. So you need to get guys. I was talking about Bidvest because our business is a lot bigger than Bidvest. We're going to be one of the biggest 5 businesses in the world in 5 years. You sitting here as one of the most fortunate people in South Africa, people will ask you 5 years from now, what? You heard of my world 5 years ago and you did nothing? Were you stupid? I tell you right now, you will get these comments 5 years from now, and it's you guys in this room who are very fortunate to know of this. But you need to understand why and how this is. So for a marketer, just to understand, I've got a few guys here who owns original businesses or traditional businesses. 50% of businesses that you start today failed in 1 year. These are facts. 80% failed in 5 years. 96% failed in 10 years. The cost of these businesses, average cost to start, is 800,000 in South Africa. That's to enter the average business in South Africa today. High entry. If you start a business for that money today, can you be flexible at work? No. You have to be there 24/7, doing books, keeping accounts, doing all that stuff, because you don't have a lot of support. You need to come up with a unique product or service, which is not always that easy. With the rand going down, some of the guys who import stuff are buying in masses now because they need to have a lot of stock. It costs them millions. But that is the reality of a traditional business. This is facts. It's out there for anyone to see. So the other thing is, as a business owner, can you offer your employee the same income, the same opportunity than what you have as the owner? You can't. You've got to employ them for something less, or you've got to really look after these guys. So that is what a traditional business is about. And entrepreneurship is tough. It stretches you to grow. And everybody here in this room who started a business or a business owner will tell you exactly the same story. So that is just to understand traditional business. But there's a catch to our business, and this is where my original story ties into. Because in our business, you know what? You will have to accept the ignorance of uneducated people. Why do I say that? Because our business has a very low entry, from 3,500, 24,000, 125,000, whatever you want. That is your entry. It's cheaper, it's flexible. You can work on it an hour a day if you want. You can work on it 8 hours a day if you want. But you need to work on the business, because what lacks in investment startup, you've got to put in effort to make it work. People will say you're crazy to do this pyramid. They don't know what this business is about. That's why they say it. They want to try and find a way of understanding it. Network marketing is a distribution channel. It's the most effective distribution channel in the world. And that's important. Why? It's people telling people. It's not a newspaper ad. If your friend comes to you and say, are you watching the Bulls versus Stormers today? I'm going to buy you a beer. Okay, I'm there. Or whatever. You will go with your mates on what they recommend. 95% of the time, if you have a good relationship with that person, you will go on his recommendation. So it's the best distribution channel in the world, this type of industry. But people quit this business because they can't handle criticism. If someone says, you crazy man, what are you doing with this pyramid scheme? Hey, yeah, I don't want that, I'm done. It is the fact. And I said to you earlier today, 99% of people don't have the ability to run their own business today. That is also fact. So the last thing I want to just say is that is where I was fortunate. I was criticized in the newspaper most Mondays because cricket is a game where you fail. 40% of the time you'll succeed if you're really good. So 60% of the time I was abused, 40% I was praised because I was quite good. I'm just joking. But that is the fact. So I was conditioned. No can tell me what he wants. I will go back to him and say, yeah, but you don't understand. This is the facts. But how many of you know that stuff I've just said? Okay, it comes in time, and that's also important. So that was one thing I wanted to say. And then people live under the influence of other people. It's just also a fact. Peer pressure is so important for people today. They listen to their mates. They don't want to be seen as someone standing out. But what happens to the guys who blend in? Will they ever stand out and achieve something significant? They won't. And most people can't handle that. So it's important that you grow a thick skin, but that you know the facts and that you park your doubts, because this is way better than any other traditional business. If you spend 10 years on your traditional business, 96% of those guys close their doors. And what do you think happens after that 10 years of effort? 96%. What happens? Are they financially free if they close their doors? No, they've got to go into debt counseling. 5 million in debt, 10 million in debt. And Jacques had a great story earlier where he said, if you make debt, you've got to keep working to pay the debt. Do you know what will happen here if you put in the same effort for 10 years? You will be at that last level that Yolandi showed you, which was what? Level 8. Can you remember the earnings at level 8? $500,000 a month will be okay to make a bit of a difference. Okay. They say money is the root of all evil. I disagree. I say lack of money is the root of all evil. How many super wealthy people steal from others? Okay, maybe a bad example this time. But you understand what I mean. If you're not hungry, if you've got food, you're not going to be looking to steal. So it's important to understand that if you have funds, you can make a difference. And I think that's important. So, okay, I've gone through that. I want to play this quick video and then I'll get further. Okay. Okay, so I hope all of you are quitting your jobs. Just joking. But just a bit of facts on this story, because I related to our company. In 1998, he needed $1 million to take the business to the next level. You know what he did? He went to, that was for a 20% stake in Amazon. He went to 40 people, and, 60 people said no. I thought it was 40, but 60 people said no to him. They're not interested. Are you crazy? No one's going to buy books online. They want to read it. They want to look through it in the bookshop. 20 of them gave him $50,000. You know what that stake is worth in Amazon today? 9.7 billion. And I tell you, that's what I wanted to relate to when I was speaking earlier. People will say to you, did you know of my world in 2018 and you didn't get involved? Now it was at $1 a share back then. You could get a unit for 500 Rand. Now it is 190,000 Rand for one of them. You knew of it and you didn't do anything. It's going to be the same story. And you need to understand why. There was a lot of things mentioned here in this room earlier that relates to it. So Amazon stock at, that is wrong actually. Amazon is trading at 1.9. Those are old numbers. But it started at 0.5 or $50 cents. It's now at $1,900. So my question is, how do you think those felt who said no?
Sick.
And what will they tell their family about this deal? And people will ask you the same. Were you there when it started? When is the best time to be involved in an opportunity? At the beginning or at the end? Okay, so I need you to just understand. That's why I say you are very fortunate. We are very fortunate. So now I'm getting to my Lyconet story. I wanted to give you some context to understand what you're sitting with here today. So how many of you signed up day one and bought discount? Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Okay, there's a couple, but I didn't. I waited 3 weeks because I first wanted to go through a few things. I wanted to do my research. I read a lot about scams and Ponzi's, and I wasn't that sure, even though my dad told me about it. But it took me 3 weeks because I'm a thorough guy. I need to do my homework. And I need you to also understand there was 3 people out of probably 60 who raised their hands. So the question that I'm asking is, how many of you are actually going into a meeting with that mindset when you speak to a marketer? How many? Maybe a raise of hands? 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, go to a mindset, to a meeting with a mindset that it took me 3 weeks. Okay? It took me 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it took me 5 meetings, 3 meetings before I actually got involved. That's important. That is a very big tip because people will not jump at it day one. You see it, you know it, you understand it. I asked you earlier who understood it after one day. Everybody raised their hands, they were confused. Okay? So it's important to understand. The key is to show a good, clean presentation and encourage questions from the person you see. So that little circle drawing and the little bit of a breakdown, you need to own that. It will take you an hour of commitment and you will have one of the most powerful tools to make this work. And one of the lines I like to use when I sit with a new marketer is, I am looking for good business people because we are growing a business here, an infrastructure of businesses. So I need someone who are professional, who are skilled, and we need business people because business people grow business infrastructure. You don't need Mickey Mouse people or that, you need oaks who are business people. And that is important to tell them because you need business people to grow the business network. And we haven't really even started yet. Why haven't we started yet? You still have to order a voucher. You know, in Europe you don't need to order a voucher. Scan your card or you pay with your phone. We still have to order a voucher. We haven't started yet. We need oaks to see the bigger picture, help us establish the infrastructure so that you earn the Visa and MasterCard sales of everyone in South Africa. Do you want to cut off that? And serious growth is expected over the next 18 months to 5 years. And you need to understand that and where we will be in 5 years from now. And the reality check is nothing you say or make or nothing you say will make them do it. And I want you to understand what I mean by that. Sorry, it's a bit loud. I need you to understand what I mean by that. If I offer you a glass of red wine at 8 o'clock this morning, who would have taken it? Only one guy, but he lives in Stellenbosch, so he's excused. Okay, and one at the back. So there's two. But if I offer you that glass of red wine tonight at 6 o'clock when we're having a braai, who of you has taken the glass of red wine? Okay, there's a few more. So it's the same thing, but the timing is for some not right, for others it is right. And that is also important. I've got a few guys who were signed up 5 years ago. Timing wasn't right. They started now. Why? Because we have a lot better product than 5 years ago. And the same, you will speak to guys that might not be at the right frame of mind. They might be fighting a divorce, or they might be in a real struggle in their business, or they might not be looking for an opportunity because they are retired. But there's something for everyone in this business. You just need to understand or find the reason why someone would want to be involved. So a very wealthy guy might not want to be involved to build the network, but he might want to earn out of 47 countries and leave a legacy. Or he might want to create an income for his charity, or whatever the case may be. But you need to find the reason for someone. And I think that is what I wanted to say here, that no matter how good your pitch is, if the opportunity or the values isn't there for the guy to see, then when the timing is not right, then you won't necessarily take action. And this is where the most crucial thing is, keep the conversation going. That is the most important thing for me. And as I said, you need to find why and then keep the conversation going. So those are very important components in terms of Lyconet. And then keep in mind 3 to 7 meetings is what it takes on average to close a Lyconet marketer to get involved. And then it's important, once you've got him signed in, then only your work starts, because you need to educate him on how to get started and how to do this business. So, long story short, just to understand this opportunity, Lyconet is an international marketing force that enables you to earn a percentage of points worldwide. Cashback Solutions and Cashback World, that's where the original business model started. Sales between these two generate income. That's the foundation of our business. And then My World Holdings is now an opportunity to earn active and passive commissions worldwide, where you earn out of technology companies, massive firms issuing cards, platforms that are developed, logistic firms, marketplaces. There's a lot of opportunity there. So very quickly, why Lyconet? Shoppers, 98% of them currently, they earn cashback and points. What is the difference for the Lyconet marketer is that he earns of all those people spend. So that is when I say, in my original speech, I won't even show this, it's too much detail. I'll just say shop and save, and you earn here. Where do you want to be? First meeting done, I want to earn. Okay, when can you see me again? Because you don't want to leave the guy confused. And then just to understand, every shopping point that is generated on this side pays you either 10 Rand, €1, $1.50, 90p, with the expected on the currency wherever the guy is based, and that money is shared amongst the marketers who have units. Okay, simple business model if you get it like that. So if you are on EasyShop Plus, every time someone throws in diesel in Europe, there's a euro that comes out here, and it is split amongst the market share owners, the guys who have units. Okay, so shopping point, we've spoken about that and the units, and we've spoken about the 47 countries, but this is what I show a guy who are maybe in the second meeting or third meeting, just to understand a bit more about how big the opportunity is. When people are sleeping, spending money, we're earning money. Okay, so I think that's important to understand the value of the offering of Lyconet, and then the business options. Maybe not, definitely not the first meeting, maybe the second or third meeting. These are your options. Okay, so you've got a few options here, and you decide how you want to start in terms of the offerings that we have. So we've got quite a few, and you need to understand the value of having more discount than having less discount. So you need to understand that. I'm not going to give you all that detail now, but obviously the more discount you have, the bigger market share you have in the business. Okay, so the larger amounts of discount you have, the larger benefits you have. And then Yolandi explained to us the value of the career levels also. So the more volume you bring to the business, the higher your monthly incomes become. So the more people you channel to shop at our partners, the more income you receive. Okay, so just to grow onto that, because some of you want to know a little bit more about how you sign guys with larger discounts. So guys who want to maybe say, I want to buy a discount for 125 or 500,000 or maybe even $1 million or more. How do I sell this program to them in that case? Because we're not an investment firm, we're not a financial services firm. So what do those guys need? They need to understand the opportunity first and foremost. So important for you there is you have to take them through the basics. Not long-winded, quick, short, sharp, show them the concept. This is where you make your money, this is how it works. And you need to show evidence here. Remember, this is not our business model. This is just for unique individuals who might want to say they want to buy larger sums of discount. This is not the normal business model. This is for guys who want to pay a lot of money or get money offshore or have a passive income faster. But you need to show evidence here. So when I say evidence, what do I mean? You need to show on your online offers how you've shopped. Why? It makes it real. I bought a Checkers, I got 10 Rand and 1 shopping point. Here's all my directs. Here's what they've spent. Here's the money I received from them. You need to show them your unit program. This is my units. This is my mate's units. This is the 20% I've been earning out of all the units that's booked in Spain and Italy from my directs. Because you earn 20% of all those payments. You need to show them a lot of detail in terms of how the system's working, because that builds trust. Your units, their payouts, clouds, how they've been paying in terms of the Czech cloud or Austrian cloud, you need to have evidence. And we have a great offering with these units. I think that's what is important for me, but I don't use the term units, I'll just say market share for me, because the guys don't understand a unit, they understand unit trusts or market share, so that is our good language. And then on top of that, we have iTime, Marketplace, e-credits, and a lot more to come. That is also where you profit share in as a larger discount participant. You profit share as an active marketer in 25% of all the revenue these things will generate. And then just follow up and keep the conversation going with such a person. Now, just also important to understand, we will end these bigger opportunities in the very near future. Maybe December is the last opportunity. After that, it will be finished. We will have what we call a discount voucher balance. So if you get to a certain amount of discount, you won't be able to buy more. Until you have shopped that amount out, then only will you be able to buy more. Easy Shop Plus is exempted from that, but all the other stuff is then finished. So the guys who have got large discount vouchers are very fortunate, because they will earn from a lot of people to come. So what I really like to show guys also is this slide, because the My World Marketer Enterprise Program, which is the clouds and the white labels, is capped to 1 million. Then it is finished. There is still a few opportunities left that will entitle you to earnings from all the businesses that will be developed under the My World banner. So those of you who are new to the business, you would have maybe seen iTime. I hope all of you have downloaded iTime. That is a WhatsApp on steroids. We've got the marketplace that will launch in June. We've got e-credits that will launch in June in terms of usability. But there is 120 other businesses that's registered already in 9 months. It's only the beginning. There was a 360 Lab convention in Germany, which had more than 1,000 startup ideas pitched. We take only the best and we develop them. It's only the beginning. You profit share in everything that comes in the future. We have 14 enterprise clouds that will be rolled out in the next 4 years. Some of you are EC1 cloud share owners, some are EC1 and 2, others are just starting, they're EC2. There will be 14, then it's done. Crowdfunding, but you profit share in everything that comes. For the next 4 years, the 14 will be rolled out, and then it is finished. And it's limited to 1 million people. And that million will earn off 1 billion. Okay. And then the guys normally say, how are you going to get to 1 billion? And then I say, okay, we have things in place. This is how we'll get to 1 billion. So I'm going through very quickly. Big sports teams are issuing cards all over the world. That's one way. So MotoGP, 900 million followers. They're issuing cards, they're talking to their fan base through our platform iTime, and they will convert them to cash back at some point. Formula One is to follow. Banks are partners. There's mega projects in the next 5 years that will change things. The My World Marketplace, it will be launched in June. I'm just going to continue. I think, Yolandi, maybe you can speak at the end if that's okay. So I'm just going to go through all of this. All presentations are fully underway. The launch will be in June 2019 in Germany. What makes it unique? Who of you know of Alibaba or Takealot or Amazon? Okay, you can shop on those platforms, so can you on our platform, but what will be the difference? Currently we have 330,000 marketers. How many marketers do you think Amazon has? Largest company in America. They have about 3,000. We have 330,000 in 47 countries, not only marketing the business, but also actively sharing in the profits. Do you think we have a bit of an advantage over Amazon? Okay, half of the profits in our program will go to the customer in cashback and points, where you will buy at the same price as Amazon. So where will you rather shop? People will be able to pay with e-credits. It's the only platform in the world that you can buy with a cryptocurrency that is stable. At 1 e-credit is equal to €1. No other cryptocurrency can transact on a marketplace without very ridiculous costs. Just to understand what opportunity you have sitting in this room. Amazon is the biggest business in the world. We are taking them head on next year, June. And we will probably take a big chunk of their business. And still there are people that aren't seeing the gap and how big this is. You need to understand what's going on, and it's a pity that you weren't in Poland, because you would have seen a little bit of the magic. The guys who are in Germany will experience firsthand how we are going to take on a massive market. There's other stuff, massive stuff, that I can't tell you about, that will kill any doubt for any businessman in the world, which will be announced in June in Germany. But then iTime, it's great to have a tool to show these people. Who of you have an idea what an app like this will cost you to build? Anyone that's developed the app in this room? Who has developed the app in this room? Is there anyone? How much did you pay?
No, not myself. My company does it. So,
okay.
Yeah. Projects run up to $1 million.
Easy. I've developed the app. You know what? It cost me about 350,000 Rand, and guess what? It's not functional yet. Okay? It happens. Because there's a lot of things. It will cost me about $1 million to have the app up and running. That's just mine. It's not this. Languages, countries, lots of functionality, channels. So it's important to understand this sort of thing will cost the company serious money. So I can't develop it myself, but it's you the shareholder in this business, it's your app. Okay, so it's important to show this to possible investors or people that you want to talk to about this business. There's a lot of things unique to the app. I'm not going to go through the detail. We're running a bit out of time, so I'll catch up on the detail at another training. But you can ask the leaders or the people who invited you, they will have these details. So this is also good evidence. Sorry, Yolandi, I've used one of yours. I wanted to bring mine in here, but this is very quick. Mine is a little bit slower in some countries, 36 months. I've got 3 units that has converted from the start when it was booked. So somewhere there was a creation date, I think I might have deleted it. But it was 2 years and a bit for Yolandi to take 500 Rand and turn it into 5-1. Through this program, Jock was bringing you the theory, here's the facts. I've got one out of Denmark, Cyprus, and Philippines that has gone through this whole process in about a 3-year time frame. Okay, so it's important that brings evidence to your story. And it's not stopped. I've had, out of my Denmark system, where they create these bonus units, I've also had 3 of those bonus units paid me already, like a 7-7 and a 3-3 or whatever. So it's working, and that's important. I'm going to leave this to the end if that's okay. Unless you guys are very bored of me, then I'll get Yolandi to quickly come in and shake it up a bit. Shall I continue quickly? I want to talk about the e-credits and the 360 Innovations Lab just quickly. So just to understand the Innovations Lab, for you to stay ahead of the game today in business, what do you have to do? You have to reinvent yourself. You've got to be used to change. You've got to adapt. You've got to grow. You've got to be the head of technology. I was worried, how are we going to stay ahead of technology? This is the solution. We have got the best brains in the world in Graz and now in Silicon Valley by the end of this year, running this with new startup ideas all over the world, developing them into profitable businesses. So all our current projects are also constantly improved by the best in the world. We've got an office in Graz open for the last 3 months. They showed us nice pictures of the office when we were in Poland. Silicon Valley is signed and it will be up and running at the end of the year. It's about innovations, startups around the world. It's an incubator, so people who have had babies, you know that the baby lies in the incubator, so that's where the whole story starts. It then is accelerated, and it's a co-working space for you and the team that will make sure your business is a success. I want to play you a quick video and then I'll wrap up with some other stuff.
To you, the tech startup founders with the greatest technologies and disruptive business models. To you, the creators, the developers with true innovations worth sharing with the world. We created a program for you. 3 stages, 2 continents, and 1 goal of turning your startup into an internationally successful business. In collaboration with the 360 Lab Accelerator team, refine your value proposition, get funded, equipped with 100,000 euros, you gain momentum, and enter international playground until you finally reach the top with exclusive access to test markets in 47 countries. You turn excited investors into partners and move to the next level.
Okay, that's just to show you a very quick clip. So for those of you in business, how valuable will 47 test markets be if you want to launch a new product? Okay, it's just to get an idea. This is only the beginning, as I was saying from the start. So I want to talk quickly on e-credits as well. Most of you would have gone onto the website, I believe. Have a look at the e-credit website. There's a fantastic document you can download that explains everything. So I'm not going to give too much detail. I want to just for you to understand. It will be an ecosystem for the masses, so it needs to be easy to use, functional. They signed a contract with one of the largest 4 financial houses in the world to make sure that we comply with all regulations, all laws of all countries. That's a challenge with cryptocurrencies. It's a dark space where people can use it. We're totally compliant with every single law and regulation. So there's a difference. You can't evade tax by being part of our business. You have to comply. 60 people is now constantly working on this in Cryptix AG in Switzerland. So you can also Google the company, Bernard Koch. We sat for 3 hours talking all this stuff through when we were in Poland now. And there's also an agreement signed to exchange Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin into e-credits. There you can be undercover. Here you have to be, know your customer is the thing that you use, carry your KYC. So you can't be anonymous in our business. Who of you have got Bitcoins? Who are the lucky ones? I'm just joking. But what I wanted to say is that with those coins, what do people do there? That some people make money, that some people lose money. So it is a speculative medium because it's not really functional. And the same for most of the others. What will happen with those people who is invested in those coins when there's a functional coin in the market? What will happen with the funds that is invested in all these coins? Where will they rather want to be? In a functional one or a non-functional one? Are you sure? Hey? As an investor, would you rather be in a non-functional or functional one?
Functional.
I'm just throwing it out there because you have to understand what this means. These oaks, 330 million US dollars. Oh, sorry, where would they rather want to be? Will they want to be having their money in Bitcoin or e-credit? Just throwing it out there. So it will be usable on the marketplace in June next year. So it will be for you to shop. And the beauty of it is that 1 e-credit will equal €1. What's happening to the rand at the moment? Are we very good? Hey? So to understand the bigger picture, again, I'm talking the Amazon example. how fortunate you are. Once we get to 1 million points of acceptance, we will be doing more turnover than a lot of the small countries. Macau, Philippines, they mentioned a couple, I can't remember. But then, South Africa. Then, once this happens, we can apply the World Bank to have our own currency. There's challenges with that. It's been done once before with the euro. But you know what? Do you think we have the money in the bank to back up the coin? Yeah. We do. Because everybody's bought discount vouchers and changed it into e-credits. The cash is in the bank. We can't use it. It's your money. So we can go to the World Bank and say, here's $1 billion or euros, and we want 1 billion e-credits. Here's the cash. We want to link it, stabilize it. So it's never been done in the world before in the crypto space, but we have got everything planned, and that's what we're working towards. To have a fully functional fiat currency in the next 4 to 6 years. What does that mean? Fiat just means it's regulated. So you'll be able to buy dollars, euros, pounds. You can do it with rands. You'll be able to do the same. So that is why it's so important that we stand together, work together as a team to grow this. We've got one chance. If we get it right, you will never look back. Your family will go back and say that guy, my great-great-great-grandfather, changed the legacy of our family.
Give that man a belt.
More than a belt. But yeah, that's just to understand what opportunity we're sitting with. It will be never less than €1 because we've got the cash in the bank to link it and to guarantee it. Okay, so the financial guys will understand more than me. I'm going to play you a short clip and then I'm nearly finished. Okay, that's just to show you a little clip. It's also on the website just about how the e-credits would be able to function very quickly, very easily. And we will also, important timelines that they gave us is that you'll be able to use it as one e-credit equal €1 in June on our marketplace. We're also going to try and get a few small to medium enterprise businesses to be on the program by then. But by the end of 2019, the timeline is that you'll be able to change it into euro accounts. So for the guys in Europe, they're working towards being able to take an e-credit into a euro bank account in December 2019. South Africa, I'm not sure when we'll be there, but my anticipation is there will be a market for e-credits worldwide because you can actually use it. So the guys who have got e-credits have something very valuable, and that is what I'm very excited about, is we're building a currency, one of the strongest in the world, and we in South Africa are just very fortunate that we're actually part of this global program. And why do we think e-credits will become stronger than the euro? Because we've got America partnered, we've got Brazil partnered, we've got UK partnered, and they are not part of the euro. So it's important to just understand a little bit, and why I keep saying your family will ask you, were you here today? But just to understand the projected growth, I think all of you are aware of this. And the guys who are the marketers or the enterprise cloud owners, they profit share in everything that this company will still build. So you understand this concept, you understand this item recruitment tool, cashback solutions is the merchant tool, and the facilitation is e-credits. So who do you think will write a lot of nonsense on the internet next? Vax, Visa, MasterCard. Why? Because we're not going to use them anymore. Okay, we're giving the power back to the people. I want to finish up last bit of technical information. Those of you who have discount vouchers, Job mentioned it. I think one of the gentlemen asked about this. Every 10 Rand in discount vouchers that you've purchased in the past, for the guys who were some of the original founders in this business, when that gets recashed through a cloud or a white label or through your own shopping, every shopping point gives you 10 Rand. It is still standard, it's still so today. So those of you who haven't converted your clouds, that is applicable to you. Okay? The conversion of discount voucher to e-credits is for every 10 Rand you convert, you get 1 e-credit. Okay? Are you with me?
Yes. Yep.
Okay? The rest of the world in Europe pay €1 for 1 e-credit. Okay? The Americans, they've got the worst deal because Trump is not playing ball. No, I'm only joking. But they pay $1.50 for 1 e-credit. The British pay 90p for 1 e-credit. So who's got the best deal?
We do.
Okay. For once the South African passport is very valuable. Okay. So 1 e-credit will launch at a €1 value, and it will be usable at the Euro-ZAR exchange rate. So it is very interesting, and I don't know how long it will be available for, because it doesn't make business sense. Okay? It doesn't make world economy sense. And you've got to bear that in mind. Remember, you, the lucky few, are starting this business, and you've got this opportunity, and it will be tradable in June next year. So I hope this explains to you the value of converting. And as Jock was saying about understanding this, you're taking your cash of 10 Rand, you're turning it into an e-credit, which is €1, and you still keep your payouts from the EasyShop Plus and World Systems. So you taking your 10 Rand, you're adding 50%, and you're still keeping the payouts. So if you don't sing like a budgie after today, there's a problem. Because you need to understand a little bit more about this program. And it will be bankable in Europe within the next 18 to 24 months. Okay, so just to finish, sorry, this is what it looks like at the moment in our company. Just go back to Jan van Riebeek, who's blamed for a lot of the problems in South Africa, but when he arrived here, he could claim land wherever he went. Okay? It's the same now in this company. You guys here are the fortunate ones who can go and claim land in Clifton and in Blouberg and in wherever you want. You can claim land. You don't need to put a red cap on it either. You can just claim land wherever you go. But you know what? This is what it will look like 5 years from now. And if you're not going to claim the land, someone else will claim the land. And that's the reality. So you're sitting with an absolutely massive opportunity, but you need to do the work. Entrepreneurship is tough, and it's not going to be easy. So I don't know what I did there, but I'll just leave it there before I finish. I just want to finish up by saying that, you know, for me, the most rewarding part of this business has been the journey. It has, from where I started 5 years ago to where I'm now, I'm a totally different person. And what I've learned is that you have to grow into a person to be able to earn R1 million a year or a month or a week. If you're not that person, you're not going to earn it. So what do I need to do? The systems that we are in is called the industrial system. You are coached to be poor. I saw it this morning somewhere on something that the school system teaches you to be poor. Okay? You are taught to make debt, sit in the traffic. The other morning I went to Cape Town, I had a meeting at 8 o'clock. And I was just sitting there and I was thinking, this is normal for people. To wake up at 6, sit in traffic for an hour and a half, getting to town, come back in the afternoon, sitting at traffic for an hour and a half, that's normal. I don't have that luxury. I don't have that anymore. I can go when I want, where I want. I don't need to worry about the end of the month. But it's been a 5-year journey, and it's been a growth curve that has allowed me to do that. I sat with some of the biggest business people this week, and we had fantastic conversations. And it was so nice to relate to the guys and be able to tell stories. I didn't know that before, but it's a growth curve, and you need to constantly grow. They say formal education, which is what the world teaches, will make you a living, but continuous education will make you a fortune. So I want to encourage you to read good books. Get out there, read good books, improve yourself. You have to be able to sit with Johan Rupert and convince him this is a great deal. Then you will be worth 10 million rand a year, 20 million rand a year, 50 million rand a year. If you're not there yet, it's because you have believed the doubts and the fears and the insecurities that society has been implanting in you. Every one of us were born to make something massive happen. Otherwise you won't be here. We weren't born to be extras in a show or a cast. You have a purpose. You've got a massive role to play. And with that in mind, I wanted to say to the guys today, I said to some of the guys who has invited you here today, there's a way that we can change and have a totally different life by December. Who of you would like to know that I will lay the foundation by December to have a business by the end of 2019 that has taken my $50 share to $100? And it would have changed the destiny of my family, but we need to stand together. And I said this morning, I've got maybe 5 or 10 oaks in the room, maybe 20, that will stick with that plan. But if we do it, every one of us will change not only our lives, but 100,000 other people's lives to 1 million other people's lives. Who of you would be interested to know what we have to do to get that right? Okay, there's quite a few. So, do you want to know what the magic is to make that happen? Who of you would want to know what the magic is to make that happen?
Yes.
Okay, there's a few. So, I said entrepreneurship is tough. And the guys who own their businesses will know it's tough. So, do you think you're going to earn R1 million a month if you don't work for it? Okay? So, what do you have to do? It is very simple. Who of you think you can have, no, let's rephrase. Who of you know you can have one person with you here next Wednesday? Raise your hands. Only a couple. Okay? But that couple is good enough, because I know it was going to be less than half the room. But if you bring one person next Wednesday here, what will this room look like? Exactly like it is today, because half won't participate. Okay? But you know what will happen in that meeting? Each one of those guys will bring one person. Then this room will be maybe good for 2 more Wednesdays. Then we have to find a different room because it's too small. But the problem is you've got to bury that thing of ignorant people. You've got to live with the criticisms of those guys, and you've got to break through that barrier, and you've got to have a guy here. And I tell you what, if we can pull together as the 20 who raise their hands, we will change the country. Not only this little pocket we're living in will change the country, but we've got to keep that going for 90 days. It's going to take you, 90 divided by 7 is 12 days of commitment. And you will change your life by December. All of us who are in that process will change the lives. Because you need a collective to make it happen. So with that thought, I want to leave it over to Yolandi. Just to give you a quick catch up on how you can actually tap into all this information, so you've got no excuse not to learn it. So my last final thoughts is, remember you're born to be awesome, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, and you've got to grow into the person that can change lives. Because if you can't buy from yourself, no one else will buy from you. Okay, thank you.